You're about to see a portion of a movie made in 1969 with young filmmakers. It's called Young Filmmakers, in fact. I'm David Hoffman, filmmaker. I made this film back then because I was a young filmmaker, and I was also very interested in others doing what I did. So think about the time. It's the Kodak Instamatic. It's other people making these 8mm cameras, little cameras, and Super 8, which had sound. And prior to this, there were some documentary filmmakers, but no real, amateurs. All of a sudden, out of America, comes these amateurs shooting their own little movies, art movies, other strange films, some with audio, some with music, editing themselves, coming all over the country, but really booming in New York City in 1969. So I went to PBS, which was new back then, and they gave me a grant to make a movie called Young Filmmakers. And it's partially taking place at a conference which is being held at Fordham University. Fordham University and the Jesuits were leaders in this new age of filmmaking. And you're going to see some of the filmmakers, and then you're going to see a crazy thing that I chose to do, which is I took some rich kids from Westchester, gave them the opportunity to make a movie in a day, and I took some poor kids from the inner city and gave them the opportunity to make a movie in a day. And then I looked at the two of them. What did the rich kids choose to do with their documentary? And what did the poor kids choose to do with their, well, you could call it a documentary, but really neither of them made documentaries. They made little stories, and they tell you why. Watch till the very end if you can, and I'll tell you more about what happened to these people and the movie.
Well, we're going to make a murder picture. At first, he's going to scan the city.
Oh, break-in picture, like.
He doesn't get killed. And we try and rob a place. And then we beat him up because we see him. And then we escape and they chase us.
Yeah. And then I go and rescue my pal after then we get jumped. But I make it away, and then I find him the next day around the building.
Movie making isn't what it used to be. Once it was grand and very distant, the property of a handful of giant corporations. Once the movies supplied America with prepaid dreams and packaged lovers. Now you can film your own dream for a few bucks. Film is becoming a personal medium, accessible to anyone like crayons or balsa wood. The exploding creativity of American youth is engaged in the creation of a new and genuine culture, and film is one of the most important, most revealing aspects of this culture. The films of young people are, in a sense, the most contemporary American cinema.
All right, cut.
We knew they were different, this generation raised on television and the Cold War, but we wanted to explore the difference. We sought from them a better understanding of why they have taken to film so enthusiastically, what they think and feel as artists, what they're trying to say.
Now, are you a filmmaker?
Yes.
What did you make?
I made an 8mm movie called Laura's Remarkable Trip to Puddleby Town.
What is the subject of the film?
Well, it's about a little girl that goes into a dream, and she goes into a world where people are very small. And to do this, we animated Swedish trolls.
How long did it take you to make this film?
Well, this movie took about half a year.
Why did it take so long to make?
Well, it was my first movie, and, it was just very hard to animate.
Where did you learn the technique?
Well, we just started on our own, my girlfriend and I.
Why film?
Well, we just thought it was a good idea. You see, we didn't know that the film business was really in for students.
We had to make our own movie instead of a term paper, so I thought a movie would be easier, so I made it. And we had to get something that we knew something about, so I took teenage problems. And what do teenagers do? They fight. And we focused on them just fighting, and they kept on fighting. And then I bought 2 fish, and I put them in an aquarium. And I forget their names, but as soon as you put them together, they always fight. So we showed the teenagers fighting, then bingo, we went right back to the fish. We saw them fighting. And finally, the fish kill each other. In the last sequence, the 2 kids jump into a swimming pool. And that was our film. It was good.
We come from Philadelphia, and we go to Shaw School. We made a film called The Housebreak, and I'm 13, he's 15, 14. At the beginning, I think it's a couple guys playing cards, and one guy sneaks a card out, from the sock.
Right.
And it's a fight, so then I step in, and I knock the bad guy over, because he killed the guy that was sneaking the card. He killed him with his fist. he knocked him, he beat him to death. So I knocked him out. Then I told another guy to watch the door for cops. So then he went to sleep. So I threw my hand at him, and then when it hit the floor, he looked over there, and it was an envelope, and it said to the Hawks on 13 Dead in the Street, I think it was. So he handed.
The Hawks are a gang?
Yes.
You know a lot about gangs?
No, not too much.
You don't?
No.
Did you make it up just out of your head?
Not this. Our group did.
There wasn't supposed to be no violence in the film, but it just turned out that way.
Why do you think it turned out that way?
I don't know, somebody had a bright idea and thought, hey, how about pulling the card out your sock?
Yeah.
So someone put a card in his sock, pulled it out, and the other boy didn't.
The center, you
And
know.
that's how they got into a fight.
Yes.
What kind of world do you think it was before the television set was invented?
A boring.
What do you learn more from? The television set or your teachers?
Teachers.
I
didn't know. I think the
Teachers,
television
bad.
set, maybe.
No, I ain't either. You watch the television set more than you pay attention to a teacher.
I think it could possibly be a television set because, like, a teacher just talks, but a television set really expresses itself, and it has different views and a different means of getting points across. All right, the people before television, how do they learn? Teachers.
These parents and the older people, they just don't seem to see yet, you know, what film has to offer. They say we're living in a world of television, you know, everything's being thrown at us, and we're not putting forth anything, and this is a lot of hokey because you know, in film you have so much more to work with, you have so many more outlets for your imagination. You know, they're completely wrong, and it's so hard to convince them sometimes.
A few films shown at the conference were selected for special awards. The first was given to Ken Nordine Jr., a high school senior from Chicago. Here are segments from his film, Macbeth.
Why film? Because I think it's the best way of saying anything. You attack more senses than any other way of presenting an idea. When you read something, you're reading it with your eyes. When you listen to something, you're listening to it. And it's only one sense acting. And when you watch a film, you're listening, you're watching, you've got the presence of the audience around you. It's all these things combined, and they literally attack the senses.
Another top award winner was John Earl McFadden, whose film is based on an actual incident from his Georgia boyhood.
What'd you let those kids in here for? You buy something or get out.
Give me 15 cents worth of meat. Don't throw that at me.
Boy, you better get your black ass out of here. Go get my gun. Give me that gun. I gotta go get Mr. Sheriff. I won't run. I won't run. I won't run. I won't run.
Like the outside kids who haven't never seen it before, when they see it, they sort of laugh at it, you know, like, you know. And then afterward, they'll tell me about, you know, hey man, that was a good film. I liked it, you know. And when they're sitting there looking at it, they're laughing at it, and I wonder why sometimes. You know?
Why do you think? Why is there a first reaction to that?
I guess because you know, it struck them funny, you know, a guy like me going out and making a film, and they're sitting there, and you know, things like that.
Well, you know, what my husband said was that we'll never get to make films until film is as cheap as paper. Well, film isn't as cheap as paper, and look what's happening. Look.
Look and listen. This is a film free-for-all. The filmmakers were asked to put together pieces from the films and soundtracks that they had made. Then they were given projectors, tape recorders, screens, and mattress boxes and giant balloons. The rest, they were told, was up to them. If a man is suddenly given a new voice, what will he say? With new eyes, what will he look at? We wanted an answer in our own context, so we chose two groups of very dissimilar boys and gave each the chance to make an instant movie in the same limited environment. The first group consisted of Philadelphia private school seniors from upper-class suburbia. The second group comes from New York's Lower East Side. With one exception, they are high school dropouts. They work out of the federally funded University Settlement Club and have cooperatively made many films. Each group of filmmakers was given film and a camera, half an hour to think up a movie, and an hour to shoot it.
I think basically this is going to be a visual type of thing. Nothing, you know, no thick storyline or anything. Just something that's going to affect the eye. Go, man, go. Wow. Nice work.
How long a shot? Well, we can always edit it out, but how long a shot did you have of that split down? This should be just split down the script and then immediately, boom, boom, you know.
I want to get shapes, you know, the shape of a 16mm Goldberg reel or whatever, you know.
All right, now, yeah, get the different angles. One from, like, down, up, down, so you get the...
Oh, there's not much to get from... Hold it, Johnny, this thing's crazy.
All right, now hold a second. A very important question is now, how are we going to end this flash sequence?
What I wanted to do was show the elevator open up, no hand or anything. Just see a reel box with the script, you know, tied in on top of it. Just, well, try it.
You have two gangsters, two toughs, right? And these two toughs come into an office, right? The guy has invested. Yeah, that's all right, man. The guy's invested some money into this business, and he, you know, comes in with. He pulled in a heist, and he's coming into this business, you know, for a hideout and whatnot. And he wants to see the boss, right? And it's all like the misadventures of trying to see the boss. The whole place is invaded by hippies, right? He comes in, and the guy at the desk is not, you know, they pull out guns on him, and the guy's not intimidated. You have people running around with flowers in their mouth, and, you know, yeah, also, you walk into another room, and you have a guy with an apple, and another guy's throwing darts at him, you know? And meanwhile, the guy never gets to see the boss. Now, let's go. Go. All right. All right, step out. All right, that's it. Cut it, man. Cut it! Go! All right, go ahead, let's go! Check it out, all right. Now, come on out, now, come, Miguel. All right, do it. No la agarré, ¿eh? Come con that, baby. Hey, no, don't have it up too bad, man.
Oh, those are my cigarettes.
Okay, let's go. Ready, Miguel, roll it, start rolling. Follow him in. Now, you guys look around, but don't look back and see Elliot. Come on, step in, Alejandro.
What is this guy doing here?
He's hanging around. I have $1 million invested in this organization. Will you nuts? And so far, what I've seen here is not worth it. What do you mean you're laughing, man?
Can't you see I got millions of dollars invested in this? See, this thing could be done 1, 2, 3, man, if you know what you're doing. 1, 2, 3, the thing would have been done a long time ago, man. Too much talking, too much this. You director, direct, man.
So you know the time, 1969. I think in 1971, TV started up holding a video camera. Now, filmmakers like me, we didn't like video at first. I didn't, because it looked so live, so real. There wasn't that grain of 16 millimeter, which I loved and still love. Of course, it didn't occur to me that digitization would allow you to make all kinds of filters to make it look like 16 millimeter almost. Never perfectly in my view. But by 71, TV, you could look them up, were these young guys with cameras recording action, documentary, man on the street with video. I finally went to video in about 1976, but I continued to shoot 16 millimeter until the 1990s. And even then, if I could tell a client, hey, 16 millimeter is better than video, some would accept that. And there are still some people shooting 16 millimeter today and shooting 8 millimeter. Not many, of course. I'd like to be able to tell you what happened to the people that I filmed in that old movie. Unfortunately, you know, I didn't keep good records. I had releases, but I didn't keep good records, and the releases are long gone in history. So I don't really know. So if any of you are in that movie, please contact me. In any case, thank you for watching. David Hoffman, Filmmaker. Subscribe if you're not a subscriber, please. Support me on Patreon if you would like, patreon.com/allinaday. And set your notifications so that I can send you further notifications and you make sure you get them. Because I'm going to be posting other films from this era and give you my sense of the time and the place. Take care.